We're here for the world premiere. We're going to see this film on a big, big screen. How are we feeling, guys?
That's big screen. That's a very big screen. Biggest screen I think I've ever seen. I'm not, I'm beyond excited, a little anxious because, we've watched it in several theaters across making it. But man, we're going to blow that baby up great big and see about 700 people are going to get a real good look at all of our effects and everything.
So in that sense then, what's a moment maybe that you're looking forward to most to seeing with the FrightFest crowd?
We have a sequence early in the film that we call the crossroads, where the women they have an accident and they get drag themselves out into this field in this vast empty area. And I always say, if we make it to crossroads, then this is your movie, because it really is a very exciting sequence, and it's also beautifully shot by our cinematographer Brennan Full.
I think I'm most looking forward to seeing there's a crossroads scene. That's about, it's sort of when our characters have been on a camping trip and we emerge to discover that there's a zombie outbreak. And that scene is sort of the scene where we first get a glimpse of what's going on. And it was a very dramatic day, that day that we filmed. There was a lot of wind, which I think made it very cinematic. It was hard to film with dirt and stuff blowing in our mouths and our eyes, but I think it made it look even better, so I'm really excited to see it.
And you?
I get mad at Jamie a lot. We have some nice fights. I'm excited to see those play out on screen, and then of course the lovely makeup. The making up of the upset, not our facial makeup, although I'm sure we'll see that too.
Romero made some rules for zombies.
Did he? Never heard of him.
Then Danny Boyle made some other rules. Then Zack Snyder decided to combine the two. What rules are you playing with the zombies this time?
We do that as well. We do combine the two. For us, it's important. What we want to do is make the zombies feel like they could maybe actually happen in the world, and it's not supernatural. It's a virus. And what you get is a lot of very wet, pussy, they have migraines, so they have to scratch their heads to try to alleviate it. So you get very, very gross, wet zombies, as opposed to skeletons or something like that.
And ours are also in the virus. They're not undead. They're not decaying in front of you. They're people with infections that are very, and they also have a little bit of a vicious attack. So, yeah.
But another thing, though, that both those directors, Romero and Boyle, did that I think we definitely stand on is showing a world where there's militias who might be very ready to deal with these zombies, maybe a little bit too ready, and sometimes the people might be scarier than the zombies.
You're in a relationship in the movie. Coming together for that, what preparation did you do, or what conversations did you have with the director about trying to make that appeal, as if it is a relationship?
Well, we fell in love with each other immediately, so that really helped.
We had chemistry instantly. Yeah. We had a chem read over Zoom, and as soon as I laid eyes on Ellen, I just relaxed and wanted to hear everything they said and trusted. And it was sort of that easy for me.
Yeah. So, we did, Steve took us out to dinner in New York. We all live in New York beforehand. And we had a lovely plane ride together to Missouri. But yeah, the first day, I just was already so in love with Mitzi and already so grateful to get to work with her and just watch her and listen to her and see everything that she was doing. Yeah, so it's funny, we shot the very last scene in the movie first, but I'm talking about how much I love her and I already meant it, so.
Now, obviously, it being America and it being malicious, lots of guns. Lots of people with lots of guns. So do you want to talk about some of the logistics maybe of sort of doing those set pieces?
Yeah, we have a lot of action. We have a lot of guns. For us, we leaned on doing all the gunfire with visual effects. But all the zombies and blood and guts practical. So that was important to us because we wanted to make the horror and the effects practical. But we did prop guns with visual effects for those. So keep that safe and fun, and then save the practical stuff for the gritty zombie stuff.
And we run the gamut of weapons. Like you said, they were all all synthetic. It's the best way to do films anymore. You've seen what can happen and go wrong, and it's we felt it was responsible to do it this way.
What's a lasting memory or exciting event that only someone who was on the shoot could share?
You know, I mentioned the scene Crossroads. It was probably, it's an epic scene, and it probably was the most difficult filming scene that we had. So you can't see in the film, but we had 40+ mile-an-hour winds the whole day. So, and that doesn't sound intense until it's just sand being blown in your face. So all day everybody's in goggles and safety goggles, and we had to,
I would never have guessed.
yeah, we had to restage the ending of that scene. It was all staged differently because there's a scene that happens in an RV at the end of it. And the actors have to be this close to the RV because the wind is so intense that the mics wouldn't work. Like, so we had to stage it all within this much. At the end of an action sequence, we already shot all of it. So it was complicated, and I think it worked out great.
You plan for filmmaking, you plan for all the things. What if it rains? You know, what if it this? But when you usually don't play it, what if there's a windstorm? You know, I mean, that's like, didn't see that one coming, and it was not on the weather, it just happened.
I must admit, this year at FrightFest, I've interviewed people that have had snow when it should be sunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been, I think it's the indie filmmaker is in the lap of the gods.
Hey, you know, we had some very good film karma on this. Ours is a very big film. It moves across a lot of locations and travels. And we could have had many things go poorly. And we were very lucky that filmmaking God smiled on us most of the time.
Well, look, thank you very much for joining us on FrightFest TV.